Okay, so your homework 5.4 is on adding and subtracting rationals. So I'm trying to get you to practice what we've been going over the last 2 days. And so what we have here is number 4. And number 4 says that I have two fractions. The first one is 4 over x minus 1. Nope, plus 1, sorry. And then there's a subtraction sign and it says take away this fraction right here. Okay, which is x minus 3. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is say, okay, these are two fractions and they're being subtracted. Well, how do I subtract fractions? They need to have a common denominator. So what I'm going to do is figure out what is that least common denominator that they have to have. So I notice that this denominator has to stay together, an x plus 1. This denominator also has to stay together. Take x minus 3. Okay, and so this first fraction says everybody needs to have an x plus 1 to match me, and the second fraction says everybody has to have an x minus 3 to match me. So my only options is to give everyone these two pieces because they're two separate pieces. They're two different pieces. Everybody needs to have the two pieces. Okay, so what am I going to do first? What I'm going to do first is I'm going to take my first fraction and I'm going to give him what he's missing. So I know that he is missing the x plus 3. So I'm going to give it to him in the top and the bottom. Okay, do you see what happens there? He is all over x plus 1. And, goodness gracious, this should be an x minus 3. Okay, and an x minus 3. And if I distribute out that top, I get 4x minus 12. Okay? Now, let's take the second fraction here. It's a 6 over x minus 3, and I know that he needs the x plus 1. Okay? And so when I multiply out his top, he is 6x plus 6 all over the same denominator, right? This is where you need to be careful. Do you remember back at the beginning when we said that we needed to subtract the fractions? Everything that comes after the minus sign has to change signs. So when I write this fraction on top down here, I need to write it as minus 6x minus 6. Okay? So now I have a common denominator for everything. Now I just want to simplify this top. So look at the top here. Let's just bring him up here for a second. 4x minus 6x. Oh, minus 2x. Negative 12 minus 6. Oh, negative 18. That's what the entire top looks like when I simplify him. Okay? It all over is the same denominator that it's all over. But one thing I want to check here is, can I simplify this top? Well, sure, I could pull out a negative 2 and change it to be x plus 9. But if I do that, does that really help me at all? Does that match anything in the denominator? And unfortunately, it doesn't. So my final answer has the two pieces in the denominator, because nothing cancels. And then you have two options. You can write the top as the factored form, negative 2 times the quantity x plus 9, or you can leave it together. And I'll just tell you right now that my answer key puts it back together, okay? But you can leave it separate. They're the same answer. You just need to recognize that they are, okay? So find the LCD, the least common denominator, give everybody what they're missing, and then simplify the tops, and you're done. I hope that helps.